meda sɛ me deɛ mensuro bia na mmom meda me nna ɛne sɛ medwene Ghana ho sɛnea Ghana bɛsi ayɛ yie.
Yɛse usika deɛ ɔmo pɛ paa na mbom wo personality deɛ ɔmo mpɛ.
Sɛ obi apɛ kwasea no na di agorɔ.
All right, for mechia obibia mema obia ajo say ene wetima join program pacho program 1 hour with monofie na se ne nim no medin e de William monofie amankona enra me promise say ene ebeko NDC's way of creating jobs, and that is exactly what we're going to do today. Until I've taken my time to go through ene ebe bobo say John Mahama ebe president come 2025 January 7th. How is he going to create jobs? Because he has a job creation and as unemployment, the biggest challenger Ghana and as Africa as a whole, face it for now. And how is John Mahama going to create jobs? And no who adjumana and the menu babe. Now, and so send and I promise, and I think the name is streaming on 1080p in just a video quality no from your end and you good. So if you're a YouTuber, you can just simply go to the settings tab, then you change the resolution to 1080p. I think say from there in the video quality it'll be very better for the stream. Until day in, day out, we are just doing things every time ama BBA. Minia Felix, Adam Felix, I think say you are the first person to be on the show. Minia, I should continue with the good work. Me that's say when you're now. Now and with time, my name Minia Felix, quite join the show no. Now we discuss about how is NDC going to create more jobs. Nana Puku, we have also Libya. Nana Puku me promise and I say mefro, but I think they maintain for Fachame and the Yamiad maybe program now. Mefro, I now education come. All right, and what we're gonna do is say you hear a very short video from His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Abra launch 2020 manifesto. No, then when we move out from there, you be discussing the whole NDC's approach into how we're gonna solve unemployment and as we're gonna create more jobs. This is something I'm a promise say yababe. Inti abusian for mama share John Dramani Mahama. And as before that, and let me just bring Minia Kwachi from France. Now on joining now we discussed a little bit before and Sana Etimi Akwenim. Minia Kwachi Bibiaboko.
Nyame adom no mpa wo pani kase.
Ina de wa hwe NDC gidigidi pa.
And I say ye be kan NDC ho asem nti no. I say
France Paris saying.
Oh nyame adom wa wani tia. Eja. Bibi e koso.
All right.
Said there be a
one hour with the Munufi and I think there were a lot of discussions on how NDC is going to create more jobs. And I yes, sir.
Sure.
All right. Until what about it?
We back trying.
All right. Me of I could be because yes, I'm also here live now. Say John Mahama will never become president again. Of our Opa into Chacha. We inquired me man and 10% of what that so. Na afide ya hwese yeah I say ubidi and I say wouldn't if you have it
maybe he's daydreaming.
But this is coming like kakai sabe pepe NDC will be no bit must stop NDC from coming to power see a next year not January as well John Dramani Mahama in Minia Felix now unemployment is a big challenge to the whole of Africa and Ghana kwa. And another by who say try and another means of the unemployment system no. But I say NDC what I know drew ewo. Saying who NDC approach no. In him say you did the whole table but one year discussing one after the other. But in brief, saying who no.
Yeah, my mente jandam kitwa bi emfiri ho. Na menchi atie for sabri nim say atie for bi bragibre 8 na mechia France executives na machia brother Adams incoming branch chairman and then apamfo nyina mse na no ma ba ko bi yeah na because me ti jandam afiri ho a na me refer to recently them say former president Mahama launch ne na acceptance almost speech be so mobile creative various home poultry ama fie nketewa mu sɛ be ya mo betimi ayɛ poultry kakrakra na atimi de sika ba families no ebotom na I think say nkrofo for advantage agye na no si bone sɛ wɔhyɛ wɔbɛyɛ nkokɔ nketenkete o sɛ ebuo nketenkete biribi saa. But I think sɛ wonni saa nimdeɛ no ne anisoadehunu no a sɛdeɛ ɔkaa no no ebia wonte aseɛ nsi mfa. Ne nkyerɛmu nyinaa ne sɛ way back na yɛwɔ policy bi a I think sɛ one of the former presidents ɛde ba champon anaasɛ biribi saa Operation Feed Yourself.
Yes.
Yes, so whilst you feed yourself, you still get money to also take care of your family. And then now,
Exactly.
so the Hununu former president or they can so it refer back to Sada issue a creative impression so confirm to call working and the keka home. So I Ghana most of our poultry union in Africa and on eba.
Eba.
But ɛnam bi te sɛ nkɔmfam ne adeade nyinaa no ɛyɛ mmoa a possibly no Ghanafoɔ ɛpɛ nkokɔ yɛkɔ restaurant nom ne adeade a yɛtoto ne ade. So sɛ yɛn yɛn adeɛ na kuani no atumi anaasɛ obi atumi ayɛ bi wɔ ne fie na ɔwɔ baabi a obɛtumi de akɔ akɔtɔn because that was the idea. Preparation center ne yɛde kɔ hɔ nti ɔyɛn ne mmoa no a at least ɔredi bi no na ɔtɔn bi so ahunu. Because obiara wɔ ne fie na wotɔ nkokɔ bi 15 mpo koraa na wɔn wɔ hɔ na nkokɔ no tumi to koraa ma wa at the end of the day wonya nkosua firim wosan yɛ dɛ wosan nya ɛnam firim obi ho kyerɛ no na wɔso ɔpɛ bi atɔ a wotumi kyi bi so yɛ dɛ ɛtɔn ma no so that is the idea not necessary sɛ wɔka sɛ abs and obi nni sika a wɔde kɔyɛ large scale poultry but at least nkokɔ 50 60 70 100 bi deɛ ne fie ne yaade mu no obetumi ayɛ dɛn ayɛ wɔn a ebetumi de sika ayɛ dɛn aba saa nipa no ebotom ɛna akwadaa bi asɔre a otumi to aburo gu hɔ aduane a ebedi aseɛ bɛka no ɛnyɛ adeɛ a ɛyɛ capital intensive ɛnso ɛde sika betumi ayɛ dɛn abrɛ saafoɔ no so wɔn a na wɔn nte policy n'ase a wɔn de ɛdane nsɛm keka ne atoro die sɛ na wɔsi buo nketenkete ne adeade no. I think that is the explanation and that is the rationale behind the former President Mahama Ekayeno.
Okay.
That. Yeah, sure.
All right. Mate. I think say what's at the records in the streets on some propaganda be as an NPP for a concerning that kind of idea.
Sure.
All right. Intiminia, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama on a I think about 8 to 9 minutes video bina afedi on my much explanation about how he's going to create more jobs.
Sure.
All right.
And under the 1 million jobs plan, which we have christened Ejumapa, will generate an average of 250,000 decent jobs every year. Our job creation policies will be rapidly deployed through needed interventions that are applied to ensure that all sectors of the economy give priority to the creation of sustainable and decent jobs. The 1 million jobs will be anchored on the big push, an aggressive infrastructure development for jobs. The 10 billion investment over 5 years will stimulate the economy and provide opportunities for businesses to grow, create new entrepreneurs, and employ more people. A national apprenticeship program to train technically skilled human resources for rapid industrialization, job creation, and entrepreneurship will be implemented. NAP, as we call it, will target 500,000 out-of-school youth, including Kayaye. Government will bear the cost of fees for their training, and they'll receive start-up kits on completion of their training. What this means is that we'll register master craftsmen in all the districts around the country. We'll register youth that are interested in going as apprentices to learn a skill, and we'll pay the master craftsmen to train them. And when they are finished, we'll give them the kits that they need to start work, whether sewing machines or hair dryers. Through a number of tax exemptions, micro, small, and medium enterprises will be able to plow back their profits, drive the digitization of the economy to provide new jobs, encourage establishment of new businesses, focusing on exports to help create more job opportunities, provide free trading in coding to young people across the country, engage a minimum of 300,000 beneficiaries under the Youth Employment Agency, focused on skills acquisition, legalize and regulate Okada. Legalize and regulate Okada business in order to make it safer and be an avenue for employment. Convert the labor office into a national employment center with offices in all the regions. Persons seeking jobs can register online, and employers who recruit from the National Employment Center database will receive tax incentives. It will also compile and maintain a national employment dashboard to track the number of jobs created every year. And getting to the end, social housing. Roll out social housing, I said that already, in every district. Implement a national mortgage assistance scheme and rent-to-pay agreements over 15 to 20 years. So if you are working and you have between 15 and 20 years to the end of your working life, you can be allocated one of the houses. The money you'd have paid for rent, you use it to pay and own the house. The mortgages will be priced in cedis, not in dollars, so that we insulate the house owners from the escalating value of the dollar. The rest is expand GIFEC to create a digital economy development fund to promote entrepreneurs with emphasis on youth and females. So GIFEC will help young entrepreneurs who want to go into digital services. Roll out a solid digital infrastructure to generate incremental value of more than 5 billion in a year. Develop a digital Ghana master plan. Ensure the efficient transfer of digital technologies and skills to unleash the innovative and entrepreneurial potentials of our young people. Commence the building of a national information highway, that's the Ghana Broadband Network, which utilizes 5G and fiber optic technologies. Move to an affordable universal licensing regime, including 5G, that allows flexibility for telecom companies to tap into new technologies. Identify and support young people to develop e-applications to support the delivery of public services. Introduce a uniform transactions fee to guide the electronic payments industry. Migrate all persons to government payments onto electronic platforms. This is to speed up the achievement of a cashless society. And so these are some of the programs planned. There are many. It's a quite detailed manifesto. There's establishment of a microfinance fund for Zongos and deprived urban communities, and it's called the Soyeya Fund. The fund will be accessible to all people who live within Zongos and deprived urban communities, and it will not discriminate. In addition, I'll just mention a few things to do with sports, or as the sports fraternity will not forgive us. We'll establish a sports development fund, and we'll develop a comprehensive national sports policy to outline the vision and strategies for sports development in Ghana. We'll revive and invest in inter-school and colleges games in order to develop talent.
All right, I believe these, among others, and His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, when he gets the opportunity to become the president of the land, come 7 January 2025, he's going to implement some of all these kinds of things. Now, I will engage Minia Kwache back again. Then we discuss how he thinks the whole thing is going to be. These documents and they be discussing, we're going to pick it from the NDC's manifesto of 2020 under the jobs, prosperity, and more. When I and a yeba be discuss ɛwɔ ho. Nti me nua Felix say what a visionary man. Me nua NDC and then John Dramani Mahama or more vision to develop the nation Ghana na yɛwɔ no. Nti open so join a line also and also a 0508117781. I think say WhatsApp line in the episode join here no. With me I join and I feel you can be part of the show. If I show a WhatsApp on and programming so a 1 hour with Monufi. Every day I try to stream 1 hour of my time discussing various issues in Ghana. We don't actually insult here. We just bring out the facts and then we do things as sɛnea obiara bɛtumi follow ɛho sɛ nneɛma a ɛyɛ no ɛnyɛ adeɛ a ɛyɛ ade foforɔ biara. Enti me nua Kwakye wɔ Paris. Back on the program, I think sɛ wonya kwan atie His Excellency John Dramani Mahama very well. And we're going to discuss most of the things that Okan and also.
Okay.
In conclusion, do you have something to say about whatever he said? And your starting program now.
Yeah, this is someone I think say he has been a president before. Now, some of the things are now no I would Google Akwamu as a president. Obiara ni hɔ a wiase ɔnya mfomsoɔ. I always say in this world, biribi a wobɛyɛ biara no sometimes wokɔ w'akyi na woba a wohu sɛ adeɛ deɛ na ɛsɛ nka mede ɛhyɛ ha anaasɛ na nka mede ɛsɛ mede wei ɛto ha. Fortunately for us no, wandi ne mmerɛ no nyinaa nyɛ dɛ ɛnwie ana ɔsan ɛreba back to come and fix some of the few mistakes a wofiri sɛ ɔyɛɛ dɛn ɔyɛɛyɛ. And I think and ebi a menya saa platform a mebɛtena so ayɛ dɛn akasa akyerɛ Ghanafoɔ. I think say after ɛnɛ no ebi a 1 or 2 people bi bɛyɛ dɛn ɛbɛte deɛ meka. You
Yes.
know, ebi a na nenam mu ara so no na president so akɔte deɛ meyɛ dɛn meka. Nti I
Sir.
think say he's more on social media. He has heard a lot of youth what we want, how Ghana will going to be. And in our title say was say building the Ghana we want with all of us. Because when you saw no point mean that and yet,
Build it.
but with the in-depth knowledge, any experience now we're gaining as a former president, and coming back, I think say share 2020 manifesto na ɔtache all aspects na ɛnɔɔma a ɔkaeɛ no nso so no I think say ɛnɛ na metie biribi paa there's something I've been hitting on seriously da biara na meka ho asɛm ɛfa social housing ho ɔhu sɛ
Yes.
yɛn a ɛwɔ Europe no any other abroad let me put it that way ɔhu sɛ yɛ enjoy a lot of social buildings me to
Sir.
me I don't think say there is even a need for us to mortgage because it should maintain and should be remain for Ghana. If we can still have one that we can sell for workers, fine.
Yes.
But social housing, a bois, and the idea is that it will not or Emma if you rough one or end to them rough
Yes.
because social housing then and he
Oh.
said in every district, in every community. So at least yɛtumi raise 2-story buildings koraa ɛwɔ community bi just for workers because the indigenous people no deɛ obiara wɔ ne fie a ɔyɛ dɛn ɔte but for workers nti exorbitant charges na efiewurafoɔ yɛ dɛn charge no so me is one of the things I've been talking about but obviously I'm very happy sɛ wobɔ wei no ɛhɔ ne adeɛ baako a metie a m'ani koraa san agye more because sɛ otumi yɛ a ebetumi ayɛ dɛn aboa bebree.
Abua.
Abɛboa paa. And you see, every infrastructure goes with work because from scratch, yɛka sɛ yɛsi social housing ɛwɔ kuro bi community bi mu na yɛ 2-story buildings koraa like 2 separate story buildings ɛde adwuma bɛba. So it is job creation by itself from day one until time a yɛbɛyɛ dɛn yɛbɛ finish it. You understand? And when
Yes.
you put these modern buildings now, ɛno na wobɛtumi de the modern technology no nso so ayɛ dɛn ahyehyɛ mu no how government will be able to operate directly through that area electricity near water bills near ade. So that say if we are going into technology, digitalization, we have to get the systems or the projects done. Digitalization, any sky near no buildings mu. What you say? So without those projects, ideology no it won't happen
Yes.
because to see what the digitalization about, let me put it that way. Ebia we are working through meter box na where you feel what the what the car na trim. Now say you need those kind of houses no why bit me operate here. Then what is the essence of that idea now we say whatever. So what
Mm-hmm.
you say? So there
Yes.
should be something down. I know that properly the idea of what you want to do. So what
Mm-hmm.
they are saying. So that is why we keep challenging. Say someone or non started say we'll see Accra Digital Center. Any
Mm-hmm.
all those places are waiting here keep your data. So you see what he said based on the database in our know kind because he know where we are going to keep the data. Into
Yes.
the kind AC no answer. So that say going forward, we know say when we data are collected, we have a place of keeping them
Mm-hmm.
because ultimately for data ni show bottom now for nante.
Exactly.
The data must be kept somewhere where we have computers and other things and the systems are working. You
Yes.
understand? And people will be there to work and take care of the system. But here is the case, you are only preaching, doing it. How are you going to do it? You don't know. You
And
understand?
somebody might ask, say, Ghana for now, Mwabetana Bruchache no. What is your contribution to the national development? Because it seems that Ghana for the only thing we know, Ghana for the only thing we've been doing is say you're complaining, but we are not bringing on board any concrete solutions because you're better you're experiencing a lot. We are exposed, but what are we actually bringing on board?
You see, early childhood, there is a statement or say children are seen but not heard.
Mm-hmm.
So I think say like I'll still go back to social media. Say previously, we were not heard.
Okay.
There were a lot of people who were putting or pushing a lot of ideas and agenda. And I think say most people behind closed doors,
Mm-hmm.
also help the governments, both MPP and NDC, to write
Mm-hmm.
their manifestos and other things. The only disappointing part of it is that some of us, when we also move back to Ghana, instead of us to change the system, we rather allow the system to change us.
That's
With
true.
the experience we have had, anka
Mm-hmm.
ebi a efi sɛ yɛtena aburokyire anka yɛkɔ Ghana a, yɛbɛtumi asesa system no.
Mm-hmm.
Yɛn mmom yɛma system no influence yɛ. Typical example ne yɛ current educational minister. Look at
Yes.
what he's doing. What I say. So
Yes.
this is someone who has stayed in abroad or US. Now waba na yɛde education sector. We thought said there
Mm.
will not be even corruption around him. But look at the corruption cases. Look at what is happening, buffer stock and all those stuff. So Oshe say now it look as if say I don't know say ebi a system no ɛdɔɔso kyɛn yɛn nti na ɛtumi influence yɛn o. Sɛ yɛn ara nso so na ɛyɛ corrupt ne da na yɛkɔ a ayɛ yi o. But like I said, diaspora have a lot to offer. When more people are sent home, na sɛ
Mm-hmm.
dodoɔ no dɔɔso a, I think say we will be able to influence the system rather than the system influencing us. Because
Yes.
ebi a na akɔ nipa no yɛ baako pɛ. You understand? Yɛwɔ nkurɔfoɔ a wɔn abɛtena aburokyire sua adeɛ bi mu kuta PhD nom ne adeade a with the rich experience na wɔn anya no and
Mm-hmm.
working with a white man at least ɔno nso so develop ebi a some character bi with his style of work. Nti sɛ yɛnya saafoɔ no dodoɔ wɔ yɛ system no mu ɛwɔ various sectors na I think
Mm-hmm.
say I also give a thumbs up like I said there was one lady a MPP man appointment from UK na ɔkɔɛ desk na esi hɔ ɔnyɛ adwuma biara na ɔsi o mebɛtena ha na menyɛ adwuma biara deɛ there is no need me coming to sit here and collecting salary at the end of the month without doing any work.
Mm-hmm.
And you say this is that kind of that objectivity. So
Yes.
the confidence we have built. And we no no. ɛna ɛkyerɛ sɛ at least sɛ yɛnya such people in the system even though ebi mo ɛbɛyɛ corrupt deɛ, but when many are called at least they will be able to change the system. Na ebia the president vision ɛne deɛ ɛwɔ n'ani so no, because sɛ yɛbɛdi ɛho nokorɛ na watena aburokyire abɔ wo bra kakra wasi wo fie baako mmienu a, you have come to learn sɛ ɛnyɛ fie bebree ɛna ɛkyerɛ sɛ wa prosper,
Exactly.
but what you do to help your community, what you do to help the system. Nti wohwɛ a yɛwura Gyekye Kwesi, look at what the people did because ɔkɔɔ foforɔ no, he was able to help his people with what he had. The idea was, let me also help some people to be like me. Nti ɛnyɛ sɛ ɔkɔfa advantage mekɔɛ no mabɛnya sika nti kurom hɔ asase a ekura obi kura no akɔgye.
Akwaje.
Isisi adan na makɔgye sika kakra ekuta makɔgye concession na nka me ɔno nso tu galamsey na ɔnam ha dabi. He didn't do that. He rather focused on helping the people. As at that time koraa na ɔmɛyɛ MP. So you
Okay.
can see say if we get such people, more of them into the system at least say ɛbɛboa ama system na ayɛ dɛn asesa kakra. Corruption nso bɛyɛ dɛn ɛbɛkɔ fam. Because one of the major things ɛha yɛ paa ɛna ɛyɛ corruption.
All right. And what John Dramani Mahama wants to do is also person build the smart business, smart government, and then digital infrastructure. And then as part of that, he's going to build a national information highway. Now one make it access to the internet universal and affordable. Or my internet wonderful. Again, he will create digital economy development fund as a ubiquity fund to digitalize the economy, and then develop a digital Ghana master plan. And then lastly, ensure efficient transfer of the digital technologies. These are some of the things that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama said, "Unya kwan be rule the nation now, minua obeye." And we are going to dive deep into some of the things now. What entail in all these 5 areas now, other than that, and let me put it on our screen. Say be will be your baby, and so you can just follow or something like that. Then let me also add Minia Party to the screen as well. So nobody wants to know with me follow the same thing. And see, if I will be our baby, we're gonna discuss this the master planner NDC or under his leadership, John the Money Mahama. So he's gonna develop these kind of areas. All right.
Okay.
Minia Party. I said the next NDC government will complete the digital migration process from the analog to digital transformation.
Sure.
And say cancer, what he is trying to mean is also using more of the technological enhancement to
Advice.
transform Ghana's industry. Do you think say Ghana for now by now we are ready to this approach?
I think say we are more than ready now. Like I think say it's a continuation of what he started
Okay.
because he is a communication guru himself. So when it comes to communication aspects, I think say he has a lot of in-depth knowledge in that because even his track record during his time and a mobile phone or starting introduce you here
That's
any
true.
those things. So he has that experience. He has started it before. I think say way back 2013 thereabout. Now or your more lay cyber optic
Yes.
fiber
Yes.
throughout so you can imagine before to move any all those areas where glow and all these
Mhm.
networks. So when there are many network systems in the system, alone no boama competition here they eba because the competition you are that is where MTN Vodafone monopolizing the system. Na ama omo nko a, and in fact there be I recommend Ghanaians omo data boy den papa Ghana data boy.
Yeah. Surprising. Recently, in Ghana, I tell you, say, I was buying internet a month to be on my live stream. Now, I was spending something like 1,500 cities
Can you imagine? So you
on
see,
just 4G. There are some days you cry internet, what you but you never get it.
a horse na me problem no. So you see, going backwards, instead of we thinking of improving the network system, no, We are rather sitting there cutting sims. See a
Yeah.
casting Abrankrofo Krasi Kasayede. It was when look at the
Also.
stress or put two people in. At the end of the day, no, say when you sim no, who register we be now network in any day, and yet
And
at
yeah,
least so network no data and boy they now intimate. What is the essence? So I think say a solution should have even look at that side no more because Ghana, the Biamika say now me one of the people I may advocate say going forward then I will see you NTN because omo go awale bebree because obi okra na sure oyira crowd say me kodwo ma basisi ya the next 10 minutes no be frɛ no na ne phone adum.
mm-hmm.
So you may think say ebi oba na
Like
kwese baabi na wadum ne phone. The same thing applies to a mema. What you say? Obi okra ne ho akɔka
true,
adwa mu baabi.
because it may experience a lot of all these kind of things.
Sure.
Baby,
Wontumi nyɛ call Ghana continuously for 5 minutes abra reconnecting emetwam.
sir.
Small time reconnecting, small time reconnecting. So I think say with that system no and with the background idea say it's going to introduce Wi-Fi so that say a better internet in the born idea IFO no,
Powerful.
it will prepare the system. So
Mm-hmm.
and because Ghanaians fancy in using phones and we have to benefit from the phones that we are using,
Yes.
not just a matter of Facebooking alone.
No.
So he mentioned that the marketer system no be call online, which at least some people have started in the way. So say data ne bo be for dia, e be ma adwuma no so ayɛ dɛn ayɛ mmerɛ.
I am ready. Now creating more jobs.
More jobs. That is what I'm talking about. Yet e be ma nkurɔfoɔ bebree anya interest ɛde ayɛ dɛn ɛde akɔ net ne so.
Mm-hmm.
Then it will be very easy for people to what to trade online. So but here is the case wo na obi wɔ business by nipa no send information kɔma no anaasɛ wo send product no kora ɛnkɔ. People cannot easily advertise their products because ne boy yɛ den.
Okay.
But when it becomes easy and accessible ɛma ɛde nkurɔfoɔ bebree yɛ den ɛba on board to also work. You understand? So I think say a very laudable idea.
Another idea.
Yeah.
And so let me stress on the point B and then C. Then we put all these kind of things together. Then
Okay.
I'll give you a practical experience. Or say the next NDC government will reduce industrial costs by ensuring active infrastructure sharing. Then C, work with operators to increase public Wi-Fi hotspot.
Yeah.
What he means by the second one is over to say Europe, yeah, well, working spaces we share it.
Okay.
So you don't necessarily need to go and rent an office.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you can even work from cafeterias. And as
Okay.
a big workspaces you share.
Mm-hmm.
And second on the point C, Obama Wi-Fi, Obe encourage the operators to ensure more Wi-Fi hotspots.
Sure.
Meaning, let me give you a practical experience. 2019, we called Ghana to contest on the ticket of the NDC parliamentary primaries.
Okay.
And as part of my policies, I was trying to prove say I can actually encourage Wi-Fi hotspot. That was the city center.
Okay.
Surprisingly, the people thought say it's never possible
Okay.
because one they thought say the internet was expensive, and then how can somebody say so? Bit my city center, I'm your free Wi-Fi, but they forgot to say back in Europe, where we have free public Wi-Fi's in places,
Sure.
we utilize the Wi-Fi's into creating more jobs,
Yes. Yeah.
and then we get revenues from that creation of the jobs,
Yeah.
to pay for the internet.
Sure.
So, if actually NDC can actually implement all these kind of things, a laudable idea bit may creating more jobs in Ghana. But why is it say with all these policies in the Ghanaians, is it say NDC as a party they couldn't explain it more to them? And I say they didn't even know about it at all.
Let me say we didn't know about it at all.
Okay.
You see, one disadvantage of NDC is we operate more on stations are a cabro for.
Yes.
So we cannot send our message to the ordinary person now or down.
All grounds.
I hope that you are catching my point.
Yes, yes, I get
Because
your point
the
very well.
people we target, I said, omo nka twi bebree.
Yes.
Nti no, your explanation, dodo na kwaye brofo. Like what the president read, former president Mahama kan ye ni nyina no, o kan ne brofo.
Mm-hmm.
Me ne wa nya adagye ne amechirichiri ma nkyire ye nuanom a. Ebi kura ye mu bi wo so a ye befa document no kura kan, so you will not get the proper understanding to explain to the
Point
people.
now we're making, I think, is a very laudable idea. Let me just chip in with this. One major problem of NDC is a all NDC communicators seems to be. I'm not trying to become tribal here, but seems to be
Yeah,
like northerners
yeah,
throughout all our platforms. And they find it very difficult to communicate in the local
right.
languages.
Yeah,
I mean, if I'm with Techiman in the Bono East region, let
yeah,
me use Techiman as an example.
sure.
All communicators in Techiman are northerners.
Mm-hmm.
And they find it difficult
Yeah.
to communicate bono kasana the typical people no
Yeah.
economy. So they result in using English. And
Mm-hmm.
Dodo saying it is has na.
Sure.
So to buttress on your point, and I think that is the first thing at NDC as a party we need to be working on.
Sure. Nti no, and na making nti animdifoɔ yi nyinaa wɔhwɛ yɛ line up a yɛde kɔ yɛ various TV stations na
Mm-hmm.
ɔmo nyinaa kɔyɛ MP foɔ a dodoɔ no afiri north ɔmo kɔ a, and the few na ɔmo bɛkɔ other three stations no nso so no, because they are not affiliated to NDC no, so they don't push
Mm-hmm.
our message.
Yes, that's true.
So with all this, obi to us say NDC don't have policies. A presenter I never take Angel FM. I say NDC need policies.
Meanwhile, all these documents
Meanwhile,
in that
this manifesto is there. So policy baby na yen kofa. So what kind of sao and what kind of tree into attorney nuanum
I
tree
told him
for
we will take care of course of good now what they call.
NDC kura ni bibi a oba be. So what they say. So
Yes.
it is incumbent on us say I say a shas yes say from now no and I can. Yen jai sa brofo stations ni bebre no yen descending more. Even if it will be an engagement on social media, then we will cut it into pieces. We will take bit by bit. Now you explain it to the people.
Mm-hmm.
Now you quickly piece. Now trend it like such that. And
Mm-hmm.
now see a bit creative platform. We will always have an engagement. You dey explain it. Yeah, because that is the communication. You have to tell
Yes.
the people the what you have achieved. It's not about exposing the government and the corruption and all
Mm-hmm.
fine. What is the alternative? Meba weni na may.
Yeah.
So it's our timer. We said a make and we have to look at it in that direction
Okay.
because most of the radio stations now omo be push a message, and now we can akankasa no ho omo beti ase no.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them are anti-NDC.
Yes.
It's a fact. Nti wokɔka w'asɛm no wɔ hɔ a, the limited time na onyaa yɛ a wokasaeɛ na it is gone. They don't
Eko.
push the matter. Some
Yes.
of them koraa no bɛtena ase a, they will also start punching certain holes. Muka adɛn na mowɔ hɔ moanyɛ and those stuff. So but when you get a bigger platform a wobɛtumi aka w'asɛm no yie a, then we have
Mm-hmm.
to, because TV3 Metro, all these TV stations yi a yɛhwɛ yi nyinaa no, ɔmo nyinaa kasa no yɛ borɔfo.
Sir.
GH1 koraa no a ɛyɛ Kwamra Dufoɔ ne station koraa no, ɛhɔ so borɔfo na ɔmokɔka no. So we are not able to send our message direct to the people. So I think say with what we are doing, the likes of Kevin Taylor's and then Ghana News TV, all these stations, including the Menoye and Enyimire, to
Sir.
also at least push the message to the people. Because
Okay.
as we are speaking, like social housing alone, we have been talking more fix the country and all those things, And yeah, we be on one sem no more. Yeah, they
Yes.
talk about a social housing, Uber Bruchira and Crawford, ama aban dan no team na say. And social housing is a government building. What the ama worker. So when you go to a transfer. It's not about say we're gonna say make, and it has been my thinking all the time. Say, why
Yeah.
can't we do this as a country?
Mm-hmm.
So you see, me myself, and then now all kind manifesto now. I've not even heard him
Heard
say,
it. Yeah.
but I've been talking about it. So
Mm-hmm.
what you are saying, say it is good when we get this kind of policies in place. So, like I said, with the experience with the social media today, I think say, and he's a communication type, so he listen more, and whilst you listen, you'll be able to put one or two things together. And you see, the reason why this manifesto is very comprehensive. There's no need say yes, channel no say it is titled the People's Manifesto. So you
Mm-hmm.
see, my worry is I think it's about time governments should build social housing
Yes.
because it is People's Manifesto. It has been captured there because it is my idea. It
Mm-hmm.
is your idea. Like the wifey you talk about, the hotspot,
Yes.
took it as a project on your own. It has
Yeah.
been captured in the manifesto. It is your idea. You understand?
Yes.
So when we say a people's manifesto, it really touches every corner of the system. The youth is now on social media a lot. Why don't we use it to create more jobs for the people? Because so we're online all the time. Can you use it to do businesses and other things? And then the system will also check by itself. Where you can, so at the end of the day, it will also help us to also calm or curb criminalities in the system.
Yes.
You understand?
You remember our point also.
Okay, well,
Right.
sure.
Until moving forward, my uncle point, I think it's a F. You jump into the F.
Okay,
Now, also review the national addressing system to improve its relevance and enhance the complementary role of the Ghana Post in e-commerce. So, what the policy here is trying to mean is a Obama you see the Ghana Post GPS or the Ghana
yeah,
addressing system no now enhance more of e-commerce, these online sales and other things, then also creating more jobs because whether we like it or not, most Ghanaians are now being educated a lot. And then okay, is onkoye labor work na onye. So we need other avenues to create more jobs. And in the Western world, they are using more of this e-commerce to create a lot of these kind of jobs for the people. But surprisingly, no, when Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Baumia on SCSA implemented Ghana Post GPS, no, it was in a very weird place there. And now when I'm Ghana, now we say, what address it, then it's very difficult for a person to say GT dash KO009. What kind of bullshit is that? How can you ask to be address or address it then or mention Adibia Okolonima Semkura?
sure.
So if the whole NDC government could leverage upon this technology, now what making it? I was a my background and the NDC they were using the Western system of addressing system, maybe number 12 Wawawa Street,
Okay,
number 14 maybe Akunfiame or Avenue or something like that.
okay,
And then this whole NPP government came and then destabilized everything and started to change it to this
that,
BT dash QWT dash one to whatever.
sure.
So NDC government is saying that under the very good policy, no, I'm very reverted back to a very simple addressing system. I
Okay,
will be able to Yakai. And we use these numbers. Now, when we get data, we can use all those kind of data now into creating more jobs. This e-commerce job because I mean, I should be able to buy a Adrian. It's very easy for somebody to deliver it to me. And as I'm a tata, be online, or and as I'm a team, if I have created a shop selling things online, I should be able to direct a courier service to send it to maybe Kwachi in this particular location. In a way, remember, create a Juma, courier services, Juma, and a lot of things.
sure.
Isn't it a very brilliant idea?
You see, that is what I'm saying. Is that the man has learned a lot, and um, those days, now bɛgye adeɛ kɔtɔ bɛgye sika kɔtɔ adeɛ wɔ dwom brɛ me ne asoma afiri
Mm-hmm.
na short time energy bibia wo de ayede wo de anante akodwom ayede aba
Yes.
ebi a wonya ni papa bia na ama o energy 1 cd nsese ka yi brem what dey ase
Sir.
obi o ha na this time round no yemfa de se obi kope de ono so obeyede
Obedi.
entina previously na yawo Ghana na na ati bibi se abrochire the time is money.
Yes.
So ahunu time is money in the sense say saa one na wo de suma obi call ye no say obi abrochire anko de akoye adwuma ayede enye sika.
Anya bibi.
So ahunu so wo suma obi ama na call dwomu akodi bia e de abre wo no eno ese se otua saa nipa ne ka because wo adage anka akoy. So what you say?
Sir.
Ni nyinaa no, and then this is where we are also advancing it.
Yes.
So like you said, I don't know why all of a sudden Ghana Post egu. Even banks have been attached to Ghana Post. So Uber France here, your post ni nyinaa your banks.
Yes.
They operate as banks.
Yes.
They receive things like you said and dispatch them. Nti ɛno nko ara no, and they still go with the letter sharing. Ɔmo gyae letters no. Electricity bill, yɛde bɛma email, but still yɛbɛbrɛ a copy. Just to create the job for people to do.
Yes.
So ahunu. So like we said, instead of those days now, we call BA box no ne ade no, we will deliver it to you and you will pay for it. So in that sense, you know, the money will be circulating. So wo yi wo de kakra, wo de tua we no, na aboaboa no na tua we so ka. Then the services now also open no now so why then when you is the same ka obekọ we also need those kind of things, you know. So I think say it's a very good and laudable idea. Say let's reverse to our that system so that we are talking of they say a man term say a delivery in a simple terms a delivery. So when the address systems are working, you know, almost that was the idea and the foundation of street naming. We saying this in this street naming by
Yes.
concerning streets now what was the rationale? The rationale was to go into this e-commerce thing. You understand? So that say over street we are ever know this ha the name. So he gave the people, he allowed the people to give their own names to suit the system. So we call obi otiko obosa area we are onim said the what goes on there. What you say? And
Yes.
you know, naming the foundation for this. But unfortunately, you know, just like said American say obi nim kasa anaasɛ biribi saa na ɔbɔ ne hwene anaasɛ obi nim wasa na ɔsa na ɔkyea ne fa nti ɔmo nso ba bɛgye yɛ na taa ɔmo ani so instead of them to also throw away their ego and start to learn from what the former president did or ask questions as to how those things were done. No? They thought they know it all. We have the men, no? Like the former president said, excuse my language. Now, say station boys.
Christian boys. Connection man for.
Connection man for ɔmo nyinaa yɛ guru boys. Obiara dane ne ho middleman. So ahunu.
Yes.
Nti saa aba wei no when we say they are disappointment, that is the more reason why na nkurɔfoɔ refer to ɔmo because they made Ghanaians to think say they know it all. You understand? So
Yes.
we thought say the Nana Addo gyina platform so can say within 18 months, you know, it's going to change Ghana and what. You know. It's just a talk. It's just a talk. You currently, Baumia, all secondary schools, digitalization, omo aduane omo benua. I don't know.
Unima sama woka.
You just talk just like that. And I think the last time I was saying it, most of the projects are NPPA, they do it in a dream.
Yes.
So when you ask them, say they should pinpoint
On point
and
to
tell
baby
you exactly where the projects are. On to me, by ye projects be Ubi so say why so and I think say almost that I am no say my year projects. But in reality, those projects are not there because someone
All right. And you were about to stress on a point, and I'm a cast point H on our screen. Wow, we are just discussing these NDC policies and the two screens and with me follow it. Now only I share again. Program one now with Monofie. Within a William Monofie Amankuna, and many Kwache on so all Paris, France, and they discussing all these NDC policies because as Kwache actually said, some radio stations and also some personalities in Ghana, it was NDC in the policy, NDC in the policy. By then we are proving them wrong. Say NDC has better policies than any other government. And this one we focus on how NDC is going to create more jobs and by letting our cities becoming more smarter cities. And to a point H, say scale up development of ICT to make our cities smart, deter crime, and encourage widespread use of the supervisory control and data acquisition system to improve power and water supply. And these kind of systems, if I remember any G, we discuss it together because you were actually talking about how we can deter crimes and other things. Now, point G, also about support it. Ghana Kofi Annan Center of Institutes, now training more of our youth into this ICT innovative systems, into robotics and other things to utilize in our domestic economy, thereby also creating more jobs. Because if the world is moving from normal to this robotics and this artificial intelligence and other things, so we need to equip our youth by some training systems and by they create more jobs for themselves. Do you have something different to say? And I say, do you still believe that this is a very good policy?
I think it's a very good policy, and you see that when we talk of the new world, the new world is built with what technologies.
Yes.
So we need to take our ICT very, very, very serious because even the tourism that we are talking about, it is created. You can create it, not natural tourism. Now say one will be waterfalls be over baby.
Wait a minute, you see very simple things.
But and then obi call Dubai akwa tower ne hwan over France afo tower obi build there enye natural.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
Oba Paris Montparnasse, we have the tallest building that we so France, and people pay and go there. There are restaurants and other things, many floors, offices, a very tall building.
Yes.
So it is not waterfalls will be correct.
Debbie.
You understand? It is not a statue will be correct. You understand? So
Yes.
when we have these systems in place, that is what I'm talking about with the new world, it is with what? Technology.
Okay.
You understand? And when it comes to crime issue with the system, the word is who watches the watchman. So the system will watch the watchman if the watchman is doing his work well. Because when the CCTV camera is there and we have the data system where all information will be led to, you understand?
Yes.
It is very difficult for the washer at the end because will be so. Ɛna saa nipa no a ɔno kɔhwɛ obi so no, hwan na ɛhwɛ saa nipa no so? Ahwɛ hu sɛ ɔno nso yɛ n'adwuma yi. So that talks about the supervisional role. And that is one thing that is even killing our educational system. So when you check private schools and government schools perform better than government schools. Why?
Government school. Yes.
Because in government school there is a leeway. Obi bɛkɔ antenatal.
Yes. Yes.
Because wobɛba no nipa korɔ no wɔyɛ adwuma no yie a take over and ɔmfa wo nka ho. So ahunu. But if it is government laneway wɔ hɔ or wɔde ne ba koraa kɔ school a ɔgyegye ne ba agorɔ instead of teaching. But if we have the system to check, do proper supervision, it will be cool. Because supervisor now no ba supervisor no. Why na supervisor no?
Mm-hmm.
So, but
Yes.
it is only the technology that will be able to what? To check whether this person, because wowura adwuma mu wɔ Europe ha na
Mm-hmm.
wabɔ so, to indicate say waba adwuma. You understand?
Yes.
So sɛ wankɔ adwuma wɔ Ghana a, ɛdeɛn na ɛbɛkyerɛ sɛ wankɔ adwuma?
Mm-hmm.
So ahunu, I
Yes.
think sɛ wey there is just by the way, but there was a program bi a na when I was coming to Europe na ɛwɔ me team sɛ mɛba abɛyɛ, and it's about this kind of robot building to
Mm-hmm.
check sɛ wowura adwuma mu a, just a system ɛbɛtumi atɛki wɔ hours a wode yɛ adwuma nyinaa, from time a wode bɛstarte adwuma kɔsi
Mm-hmm.
time a wode bɛyɛ dɛ wode bɛpɔn, just
Yes.
maybe a tag a wode bɛbɔ wo ho anaasɛ biribi saa. All
Mm-hmm.
these are what? Digitalization. All
Yes.
these are what? System building,
Systems that
technology.
you have to build.
You understand?
Yeah.
A police in call rounds are, there is a camera on him. I remember say me call bank, this post office bank for
Mm-hmm.
an account near the other. And everything that is happening in the room, many counselor no, it's
Service man.
recorded. Only control also.
Yes.
You can't touch it. So this will let you do the right thing.
Yes.
So because
Yes.
nipa no ɔno nso te machine no ho no wonim no, ɔno n'adwuma ne sɛ ɔnyɛ wei. So at the end of the day no, ɔno nso ɛsɛ sɛ ɔrekɔdo deɛ wayɛ.
Accounted to somebody.
That is it. So kasa a mobɛka ne nyinaa no is recorded.
All right. I think then yeah, okay, we'll use that on our last point. Then we conclude the show. Say encourage open government data sharing to make information available to citizens. So citizens have to trust the government. The government also have to trust the citizens. And then there's open government systems in the society. To send you okay.
Yeah. So that is the point I make you ɛwɔ
Yes.
ha. Because it's about time there should be a transparency in the government.
Mm-hmm.
That is why this guy pushed for information bill, no, right for information bill.
Yes.
So it is very easy. It should be accessible for you to acquire information in the system.
Mm-hmm.
But look as if say Ghana is very difficult to get an information, especially for the journalists. So that
Yes.
said, and also more limited
Yes.
in dealing in doing their work, because like say you need access to this information, how are we going to do our discussion?
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So anonymous ɔmo twa ntorɔ koraa no a wohu sɛ ɔretwa ntorɔ.
Ultimate
But
challenge them.
when the documents are there, when you go to their website and you can easily access the document, when you see say when this thing started no,
Mm-hmm.
ama MPP foɔ ho yɛ dɛ ɛdeda hɔ bebree.
Yes.
Because those days just like our main man Kwaku Baako ɔbɛtena
Mm-hmm.
hɔ a he's the only person who is having all the documents
All
in
the
the
documents. So no son kwan na
ɔmfa
kan no
documents
kuro enye no kuro
baa
hu
na
ade
ɔde
a
si ne
okan.
nkyɛn na oyi a ɔno akan deɛ ɛwɔ mu, owie a na ɔde n'ade ahyɛ ne bag without giving it to the journalist for confirmation or to check the source ahwɛ sɛ baabi
Yeah,
a
so William.
information no firi ba no correct. So these are some of the things that we are talking about to feed the people with the right information so that
Mm-hmm.
they can also act on it. You understand? And
Yes.
also so bɛboa a judicial system no, because say information ni nni hɔ, because your public opinion on issues. So say me nya access to the information and
Mm-hmm.
the matter is in court I personally know say, oh, at least these are the facts of the matter. You
Mm-hmm.
understand? So at the end of the day, if the judgment comes, Krana, at least 90% of the people will be satisfied.
Yes.
But where the information is not there, who knew what is going on? Now, at the end of the day, your judge case in anyhow. You may be tempted to believe, say, be a judge in one judge case, a year and I say, or judge or judge at ya or nipa na na wɔde tia ɔman no. So it is good with the idea say there should be a transparency from both sides. so that the government can check the people and the people can also check the government. You understand? Maybe
That's
my
very well.
MP has gone in for a certain contract for me community. Now, maybe I think say contract, it is not going to help. If I have access to the information, I
Mm-hmm.
can let the people know. Say this is what is in the contract. But I say we need any foreknowledge. You don't have the information. How are you going to fight for the people?
That's true.
So I think say and it's NDC have been truthful to Ghanaians at all cost. So I'm not doubting this kind of policy or person or the
Odiba.
ever, because he has done it. NDC never lied to Ghanaians. We say it as it is. We say it as it is.
All right. All right. Nti abusia for program 1 hour with Munufi na and then many many akwache yetimi abwa hete 1 hour no. I said kwache I there watimi the time to discuss a lot of issues with me. Nti many akwache I think say the program beba awie enne na nyame ya adoma ochina yebesan atwaso. I don't know, do you have something else to say? Na answer yakwa awie.
Well, the American, they say election 2024, Ghana for the Bia Yaka say, oh, I walk my now or some sompa. I thought that what if you grab who are not kusi piano na
Odiba.
one chain say uncle Chikusi bra, and so the kusi I day.
Aba.
Abre saa kraman no w'ani gye ne ho paa da biara wobɔ n'aba so. Saa kraman no bi na sɛbisɛbi o yɛnyaeɛ a yɛanhwɛ no yie a yɛpam no maa no kɔdii ewura mu. Nanso ɛnnɛ no saa kraman no yɛahwehwɛ n'akyiri a kwan na yɛahu no ɛna yɛpɛ sɛ yɛsan de no yɛ dɛn, yɛsan de
Aba.
no ɛba fie. Nti former president Mahama, I don't think sɛ ɔhyɛ Ghanafoɔ bɔ wɔ platform biara so sɛ obɛsi Temahabo new one, ɔbɛyɛ extension wɔ hɔ. Wanhyɛ obiara bɔ sɛ ɔbɛyɛ terminal 3. Wanhyɛ obiara bɔ sɛ obɛsisi hospitals. Adeɛ a ɔkaeɛ sɛ obɛsi yi block schools to expand the school infrastructure, which
Yes.
he did.
Yes.
Other things na yɛhuuyɛ no nyinaa no ɛyɛ bonus.
A bonus.
Adeɛ baako a m'ani gye ne ho no sɛ saa fund no a ɔcreate no,
Mm-hmm.
it serve as a buffer to the state. And you see, sɛ wonya sika no na wokyekyɛ with the idea of when Ghana had former President Jerry John Rawlings time or they get fund ɛbaeɛ.
Mm-hmm.
The fund is for education. So we use it as such. So all most of our educational infrastructures, is from get fund. You
Okay.
understand? Nti sɛ yɛwɔ fund ne so like you said sɛ ɔbɛyɛ create digital fund ne something like that no, so that say we will get some monies there. Nti ɛmma yɛnsɛe sika no basabasa, because when you have money and you don't plan for it, you waste it.
Yes, that's true.
But this one, he has a vision and he's saying that we have to create various funds where we will put the money for the various infrastructures. Nti sika no ɛba no na ɛno a ɛyɛ project no, because this is the intent purpose for the money.
Yes.
Ba yɛnkɔgye bosea no nwie anaa yɛmmɛpɛ sika no nwie, yɛnnyegye sika no nwie, afei na yɛbɛtena ase, oh ɛnna yɛmfa bi nkɔyɛ wei anaa yɛmfa bi nkɔyɛ wei. The plan is there. So this fund is purposely designed for these programs. Nti
Okay.
ɛhɔ na sika no kɔ a na ɛyɛ dɛn, ɛyɛ. And that is something that is very unique about him. So this tells you that even though you say human beings are not 100%,
Mm-hmm.
but he's trying to stay away from corruption. Because Kano, you say a fund, and then you can trace how much money we have gotten, and if
Okay.
it is in the fund. So you see, it's very easy, like you said, for you to access that information.
Mm-hmm.
So what I say, but I said,
Yes.
if we are saying and we are just spending the money anyhow, that will end up we going to Bank of Ghana to go and be cutting more money for us. On the I a good
Um,
system. So you understand?
Fair
to the idea of Nanado and the people saying that Baumia has worked in Bank of Ghana and the scanner ewo. The scanner was that when we chop finish the money, we will go and catch more. We will go
Yes.
and print more money and put in the system and replace what we have spent. You understand?
Yes.
So I know and I hope and I believe say Ghana for Emma former President Mahama the second chance. I think say he will do better than what he did. And the policies now Ghana for you say yeni President Mahama ɛmfa mmaeɛ no ɛwɔ hɔ sisi a n'adwuma no abɛtɔ yɛn NDC foɔ so sɛ ɛsɛ sɛ yɛ start sɛ yɛbɛpeke yɛn manifesto no yɛredi na yɛn a nyame ayɛ adom a yɛwɔ nimdeɛ te sɛ mo mu bi sei no da bia mobɛ open the front line no na yɛatumi a explain akyerɛ nkurɔfoɔ ama ɔmate aseɛ yie. I think sɛ maybe akwanya wei nso ɛbɛsrɛ wei deɛ meka no straight on air sɛ next time no me ne obi foforɔ bɛfiri France aba ɛndeɛ me na wɔbɛhyehyɛ program no because we want to also advocate for more members and we say parties so deɛ de dɔm na ɛdɛ no yɛpɛ sɛ yɛtete branches ɛwɔ ɛka ho no yɛtumi arise to the chapter level because yɛyɛ chapter no yɛmu odu a yɛbɛtumi ayɛ nneɛma akɛseɛ and then we can reach out to various places so that we can also adapt some of the constituencies because I was thinking say as part of our project maybe going forward say normal to 2 year 2024 later part no ebi a me no na ɛbɛkɔ akɔyɛ saa project no say in case of yɛntumi a what we want to do is some of the orphan communities na orphan constituencies no we go there to the villages like we are saying. So that we'll go with our projectors, we'll go with our generators and go to the people.
And explain matters on the ground.
Explain matters to them. Show them the videos of what former President Mahama said. Explain to them. Like those days now, those kind of things, you know. So those villages now, I'm like, you know, and you see, people say nkurasifoɔ na ɛto aba ma NDC nkurasifoɔ bɛkɔ so ato aba ma NDC because nkurasifoɔ no hu light na ɛyɛ NDC na ɛde brɛ wɔn.
Nsuo
no ɛyɛ NDC. So why wouldn't they appreciate what they have done for them? You understand?
Yes.
Nti na ɛtɛm bia because the first time a wɔde enum borehole anaa mechanization kura yɛ mechanize borehole wɔ mu kurom ama wɔn anya nsuo anom no ɛyɛ NDC.
Yes.
First time a rural electrification wɔ no baabi a wɔte ɛnɛ na nka ɔkɔ charge ne phone wɔ baabi ɛne ade even yɛ raise saa communication tower poles ne ade for network ne ade ne nyinaa it is done
by NDC. All right. I think say Malusi minia kwache enti abusafo ene program no me de besi wa ha 1 hour with monofi no I think say ene hana e de besi I think say we've done a lot. But your program here was being aired on 1 hour with monofi on YouTube, then 1 hour with monofi on Facebook. Enti se wunya join any of our programs na but you wait me subscribe on Facebook and now on YouTube so wait me subscribe on Facebook wait me I like and as we share and as we follow send the BI about online you could just get the notification and then follow us. Enti send ya munim me din William Monofi amanko na nti se nyame ya adom no de adom dom ya ye besan aba nyame ya adom a ochina but I think say menua kwache assign aba nti let me just try and send be ya kwache a bit more conclude something for us and now for mama kwache let me conclude from his point because he was just trying to make a point about how person France for more encouraging. Kwache, I think that you were making some point about France, but I think that quality na drop kakra. I don't know what the issue was. All right, I think say be a Kwache to me enjoying the and maybe I will just pick it like that. Now, menenebekasa offline. Say obetime dia. I mean, say Kwache bit. Kwache wo. All right, good. All right.
call.
And to conclude, now all can ask me about how you want to expand
Yeah,
in the
so
Paris
Intina
transport.
Miss CCI in the I think say a man in the year NDC can continue. Yɛnya akwanya so a ne abɔ yɛ party so ho dawuro akyerɛ afoforɔ nso a ɔmo interest wɔn sɛ deɛ yɛkan ebi mu etie deɛ nanso yɛankyerɛ yɛkyerɛ akwan baabi ɛwɔ ne kwan a wɔbɛfa so a wɔbɛ contact bi mu koraa so a na ɔmo ɛwɔ nimdeɛ wɔ ɔmo de mmɔ ɛkoraa kyɛn
Yes.
yɛdie nti at least yɛ delegate one day a na yɛde abɛtɔn yɛn chapter na anaasɛ yɛ branches na yɛpɛ sɛ yɛte no to spread the message to others sɛdeɛ ɛbɛyɛ a yɛbɛtumi ayɛ dɛ yɛbɛtumi anya more members na
Okay.
yɛtumi atete yɛ more branches no na yɛtumi de anya yɛ chapter no yɛyɛ because nyɛ sɛ a yɛn qualify for the chapter status
Yes. Yes.
nti menim sɛ bi a possibly Wednesday anaasɛ Friday mu biara bɛtumi ayɛ possible ama yɛn na ebia wada
Akwanya on the hand say just give me the notification now. I can just give you the platform now. More the I expand it at the amount of year.
meda ase nti wei deɛ mehyia
All right.
fransifoɔ nyinaa na makyia ma executives nyinaa ɔmo ɛreba ɛne ɔmo wɔ hɔ deda na afei nso so maka akyerɛ obi a ɔwɔ France a ɔyɛ NDC no biara sɛ NDC is alive in France nti sɛdeɛ former president kaeɛ no we should all bury our differences na biribi a ɛha yɛ biara yɛmfa nto yɛn akyi because we have a
Sir.
mission to rescue na yɛntumi rescue saa mission no because Ghanafoɔ ani da yɛn so sɛ NDC yɛn na yɛbɛ abɛgye ɔman no asi yie na yɛn nso a yɛwɔ akwantuom no yɛn nso yɛn ho ayɛ de atɔ yɛn so ahu no yɛsɛ sɛ asomrofo yi dwo a na ɔkraman nso ayɛ dɛ anya dabrɛ nti mesrɛ NDC
Sir.
ni bi a ɔwɔ biara sɛ ɔbɛbɔ mmɔden ara sɛ ɔbɛ contact mpanyinfoɔ bi a wɔnim no sɛ ɔyɛ NDC ni biara na yɛn link up so that sɛ we can project and move forward yɛsɛ baako ɛwɔ aduru a egu na afei nso no yɛn nuanom a wɔn ho aka wɔ voter region no ate sɛ mpanyinfoɔ de nhyehyɛeɛ egu akwan mu sɛ yɛbɛtumi aboa na yɛanya biribi kakra nso de akɔma wɔn wɔ France nti no ne nyinaa no ɛna meka wɔn nso mo ne nipa nti mɛsrɛ sɛ yɛn nyinaa bɛbɔ mmɔden na yɛakeka yɛn ho abom na yɛatumi atu anammɔn na NDC yɛ a yɛn nso yɛn ho bɛtɔ yɛ meda ase.
Ase. Enti abusuafoɔ ɛnɛ program no yɛde bɛsi wɔ ha na meda obi bi ase sɛ wonya mmerɛ na wohwɛ sɛ nyame yɛ adom no ɔda dɔmdɔm yɛ a ɔkyena yɛsia aba on the same platform maybe with a different topic but mepakyɛw sɛ wowɔ different subject bi a you think sɛ we should also discuss that mepakyɛw nso wobɛtumi asend me personal message na we build on na yɛ more information and more sources na yɛde adi nkɔmmɔ no afiri hɔ nti meda obi bi ase program yi ɛyɛ one na wotum no fie nti nyame yɛ adom a ɔkyena yɛbɛba nti bye bye